We're here at the Fayetteville Markethouse, one of Fayetteville's most important historic sites. It is one of only 3 surviving market houses in the United States and one of only 34 national landmarks in the state of North Carolina. We'll go inside the market house and cover some of its interesting history. The Fayetteville Markethouse is built on the site of the old 1788 State House, where the United States Constitution was ratified for North Carolina in 1789, where the western lands were ceded to form the state of Tennessee, and where our first university was chartered at Chapel Hill. The old State House looked much like the market house, with an open-air market below and town government above. Regrettably, the old State House burned in the fire of 1831, but had some very important history, to include greeting Lafayette in his visit to Fayetteville on the 4th day of March of 1825. We borrowed the architectural concept of both the State House and the Market House from the English plan, with marketplace below and town government above. Market House represented the very center of Fayetteville's activity, economic activity, during the 18th and 19th century, and a little into the 20th century. This is a picture of Market Day in Fayetteville and how the Market House appeared, with its lattice work, but virtually unchanged from its 1832 construction. During the Civil War, one of the last little conflicts was played out around the Market House, when soldiers under Wade Hampton skirmished briefly with Union soldiers around the Market House. Some of the more interesting elements of the Market House can be seen in the upper portions. The Howard clockwork is upstairs and is maintained by a city employee, and has always been maintained by an employee of the city, with that trade being passed down from one generation to the next. Above my head is the pendulum, which powers the 4 clock faces. At the very top of the cupola is the town bell. The town bell that's currently up there was placed up there in 1860. It is the second town bell and is still used and rung every Constitution Day and on special occasions and proclamations by the mayor. Not all of the Market House history has been good history. There were slave sales that occurred at both the State House and the Market House, and we've documented those. Dr. Kavanaugh did an extensive study on slave sales at the Market House, which are recorded in these historical panels, which are on display at the Market House. The sales we have found at the Market House were done pursuant to estate liquidations or indebtedness around the market square. Other slave sales occurred at the courthouse and at the homes and places of business of people that dealt in slaves. Just after the turn of the 20th century, the Market House ceased to exist as the center of town government, and the marketplace was closed. It was almost destroyed, and the Women's Civic Improvement Association, now the Fayetteville Women's Club, pioneered one of the first historic preservation projects in North Carolina by saving this valuable piece of architecture. It has been adaptively reused for many things. For many years, it served as a public library. It served as the Chamber of Commerce, headquarters for the first public health nurse, the Arts Museum, the Fayetteville Partnership, and most recently, the administrative offices for Festival of Flight. One of the interesting adaptive reuses is when the downstairs portion of the Market House was utilized as a bank building, which is hard to feature, but the brick arches were bricked up in the 1920s while construction occurred on the large skyscraper at Market Square, and when that was completed, the brick infill was taken out and returned to its original form. The Market House is open this evening along with the loft tours. The Market House is going to be open several times during the year, dates and times to be determined by City Council members. The Market House is one of less than 40 national landmarks in the state of North Carolina. It's a publicly owned building and has been a publicly owned building since it was reconstructed in 1832 and opened as the town hall above with the marketplace below. Something that's within the memory of many citizens in Fayetteville is when the Market House used to be at ground level. And high school students' rite of passage before graduation would be to drive their automobile through the arches on Hay Street and come out on the Person Street side. We'd like to extend an invitation to everyone to come and visit Fayetteville's Markethouse. Keep in mind, this is one of only 34 national landmarks in the state of North Carolina, the highest level of distinction for historic properties.